Welcome, you learner, to another deep dive. Today, we're zoning in on something I bet is pretty high on your list. Train me to make more money.
Right. It's a big one.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be unpacking that final section from the LifeOS framework you shared. But, to really get it, we need to connect the dots.
Definitely. We'll be pulling in ideas from, well, all 8 sections, really.
Our mission here, to pull out those core ideas for boosting your earning power. Things like understanding value, using leverage effectively.
And those crucial mindset shifts, yeah. We want to give you stuff you can actually use without just throwing a ton of information at you.
Exactly. Actionable insights, not overwhelm.
And you're someone who likes to get to the point quickly, right? So that's the plan. We're digging into how these LifeOS concepts link up to offer a practical way to increase your income.
Regardless of where you're starting from, technically speaking.
Precisely. It's about the underlying principles.
Okay, so that final section, train me to make more money, it wraps up with this really key idea. Unlearn employee mindsets. What's that really about?
Well, that's kind of the final piece of the puzzle, isn't it? It's essentially about changing your default mode.
From waiting to be told what to do.
Exactly. Shifting from that more passive role to actively looking for opportunities, creating solutions, and actually, putting your ideas out there relentlessly.
So taking ownership, not just fulfilling tasks.
That's the crux of it. Owning the outcomes.
That sounds like it needs a different kind of fuel, though, something internal. Makes me think of that earlier point, master inner drive, intrinsic motivation.
Oh, absolutely connected. If you don't have that internal drive, that genuine desire to build or solve something,
then making that shift from employee to creator is going to be tough, right?
It really is. That inner motivation is what pushes you through the inevitable bumps in the road when you take more ownership. It fuels that proactivity.
And I guess putting your creations, your ideas out into the world also takes guts. It connects to the courage to be disliked, maybe.
That's a huge part of it. Because when you step up, when you start creating and pitching value,
not everyone's going to love it immediately.
Exactly. You'll face resistance, maybe criticism. Having the courage to sort of stand by your work and keep going despite that. Essential for this creator mindset.
Okay, so this creator mindset, taking ownership, pitching relentlessly, feels like the end point.
Right.
But the LifeOS builds towards it, right? It doesn't just start there.
No, it lays a foundation.
Starting with value is perception x trust. How does understanding that help someone make this mindset shift?
Well, it's fundamental, really. If you grasp that your income isn't just inherent worth, but how others perceive you and trust you,
then you're motivated to actively build that perception and trust.
Right. Through solid work, through, showing up consistently. A creator mindset means actively building that value and trust. They don't wait for it. They earn it.
Which ties into things like build proof of work and managing your reputation as leverage.
Precisely. Your reputation directly impacts trust, and proof of work directly impacts perceived value. It all links together.
Got it. And you also mentioned that value isn't just about working hard. It's about having high-income skills, not just high-effort ones. How do those skills empower the creator?
Good point. By developing those specific skills, think copywriting, sales, strategy, automation.
Skills maybe not taught in traditional settings, like the point, show me what school never did.
Often, yes. These skills give you the actual tools to create significant value and communicate it effectively. A creator with these skills isn't just dreaming. They can execute and connect.
They can actually build the thing and sell the thing.
In essence, yes. They understand the real economy is about value creation and solving problems.
Okay, and then there's leverage. Leverage is the force multiplier of wealth. How does that amplify what a creator can do?
Leverage is, it's how a creator breaks free from just trading their own time. It lets them scale their impact massively.
Using things like code, content, capital.
Or people and systems, yeah.
Yeah.
It allows one person's creation to reach many or to operate without their constant input. It multiplies the value they generate.
Which multiplies their income potential. They escape the time for money trap.
Exactly. Which also links to ideas like thinking in portfolios, diversifying how you apply leverage, and learn to multiply, not just add.
Makes sense. If you're creating value and leveraging it, things really start to take off. And this feels connected to think like a media company. How does a creator use that?
A creator gets that their voice, their content, that's an asset. It builds their brand, positions them as an expert,
So putting out content consistently.
attracts an audience. And an audience is leverage. It brings opportunities. They're proactively building their own platform, their own media channel in a way.
And that content needs to be effective, right? Which loops back to communicate persuasively.
Definitely. Copywriting, rhetoric, it's all part of building that brand and engaging that audience. It's also a system that can potentially outlive you.
Okay, now thinking about who you're creating for, that brings us to solve expensive problems for specific people. Why is that focus important for a creator?
Because a creator who understands this doesn't try to be everything to everyone. They focus their energy.
They niche down.
Yeah, they identify significant problems for a well-defined group. They become a specialist. By understanding those deep pain points, like the iceberg model, suggests they can create super valuable solutions.
Solutions people will happily pay more for because it solves a real expensive pain.
Precisely. And becoming that specialist, that takes time, linking to think in decades, not days.
Right, and once you've attracted these specific people with your valuable solutions, you need to keep them. Understand acquisition versus retention.
Ah, yes. A creator knows getting attention is just step one, sustainable income. That comes from nurturing those relationships.
Building funnels and friendships, as the framework puts it.
Exactly. It's about delivering ongoing value, maybe building a community. It's not just transactions. This also relies on your reputation again.
And perhaps leading with values, not just trying to control everything.
Absolutely. Lead through values, not control. Fosters that loyalty and community, which helps retention immensely.
Okay, which brings us almost full circle. Back to the core idea for escaping the employee mindset. Stop trading time for money.
This is really where the creator mindset fully manifests. They actively, intentionally build assets.
Things like courses, IP, software.
Communities, scalable systems.
Yeah.
Things that generate income without needing their direct time input for every dollar earned.
That's the wealth systems plus scale formula in action.
It is, and it connects to your default mode matters more than your peak. Systems keep working even when you're not at peak effort. And ideally, these assets are designed for transferability so they can grow.
So pulling it all together for you, the learner, when you think about train me to make more money, the Life OS suggests it culminates in this shift.
Yeah, unlearning that employee default, embracing being a creator.
It's about proactively building value, using high-income skills, leveraging everything you can.
Focusing on specific, expensive problems, building relationships, and ultimately creating assets that generate income more passively.
It's really a whole system of thinking.
It is. Each part reinforces the others, guiding you towards more ownership, more proactivity.
And creating that sustainable value, which translates to, well, more money.
Exactly. Greater financial potential and agency.
So on that note, maybe a final thought for you, the learner, to chew on. As you look at your own skills, your interests right now, what's maybe one small step you could take, starting today, to shift towards that creator mindset?
Yeah, what's one area where you could maybe start building even a tiny asset? Or start thinking about an expensive problem you see for a specific group of people?
Something to think about. We really encourage you to explore how these Life OS ideas fit together for you.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
We'll catch you on the next one.